Well, damn. When are you gonna be ready?
Never.
Well, that's too bad, because hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is Funky Wiener.
And I'm George. Wait, I'm not George. Shit. I'm PlayStation 7.
Nice change there. Really glad you recovered from the slow clap for the Emmy Award improv right there from Derek. I thought mine was bad, but you said George again. Shit, I
I
already
never
used
said
that one.
I never said George. I'm
Yeah.
PlayStation 7.
Well, hello, PlayStation 7. So, have you ever got drunk and just done
What
some,
you did.
just like, you ever got drunk and just ended there? No, have you ever got drunk and just had a wild time and like shit just not go the way it was supposed to? 'Cause that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, sir.
What's tell me. Tell,
Alrighty.
tell me.
So I'm
Tell
starting
me.
off with a story from um I guess I was a I'm not sure what I want to pick. I was 19 years old. I do not condone drinking, but I did do it. A lot of it. And therefore I have this story where I was in this little hick town drinking some brewskis with my bros. I drank like four before anybody else started drinking. And then we played beer pong where my buddies like rigged the game. We looked away and was like catching up with my friends that I hadn't seen in a while. We were just drinking a beer, you know. And so they pour our cups with half a beer each, where theirs have a quarter of a beer in all of them. And they're really good at the game, so they just demolished us. And um, my buddy just goes to step over to the side and just like without like hunching over or like losing his posture, hands in his pockets and everything, just vomit straight out like fucking 10 feet in front of him. And everybody just kind of like goes, gross, and started clapping. And then I was like, heh, and then walked over where he was and just fucking threw up about 4 foot in front of me. And then we started taking shots, and the other dude was like, nah, I'm good. And then he smoked some ganj. But it was a pretty wild night because one dude ended up in his boxers, like running around the yard. His girlfriend came out with some pajama pants, put them on, and she went in. And he just slowly took his pants off, and he's like, "Let me know if cat comes out of you." And she like slowly came out the door, and she was like, "Why aren't your pants on?" And he's like, "Shit."
He took his pants off again?
Yes,
Huh.
he was making like snow angels in the grass with no snow in his boxers with his buddy.
There's just one time it was yeah, right after senior year, right after we graduated and everything, I was up at my sister's, hanging out with her in Michigan, and
Yeah.
then we went to her husband's family's lake house, and we were drinking. Started off the night with 5 Jaeger bombs, a couple of tequila shots, fucking
Damn. It's a
yeah,
big start.
and yeah. And then I was drinking. I think it was just a normal beer, and sitting in the smoke session. And at the end of it, the guy was like, "Hey, eat the roach, bro." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, sure, why
Yeah.
not?"
I'm not a
But
pussy.
before I ate it, he was like, nah, you should light it on fire. You should make sure the cherry's still lit. So I basically Wu-Tanged the fucking roach.
Oh my
And then,
god.
about a couple minutes later, they're like, "Hey, you want to try some of our homemade moonshine?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why
That's
not?"
recipe for disaster.
It's five of us in this big ass bottle of juicy juice, but it's moonshine and it's apple cider moonshine, homemade, and you can't even taste the moonshine in it. Like, it's that good.
Damn.
Dangerous ass shit. We drank half of that between the five of us, just passing around telling stories, and then someone else, because it was Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Someone else was like, "Hey, I bought you a present to a dad, and it was another bottle of apple cider moonshine."
Damn.
So we started passing that around, and then everything was all good, right? And then I went and sat down at the fire. And I sit down in the fucking chair. My sister's like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah." Just start fucking throwing up into my hand,
Oh
and it's
my
just there's no
god.
joke or anything. It's just straight up alcohol just flying out. I threw up for a good 15 minutes, like just 12 different times of just.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And then I stand up and I walk to the cabin or whatever it was and lay down on the couch and fall asleep. And then fucking 8 in the morning, her kids come up and they're like, "Uncle Derek, Uncle Derek, Uncle Derek, wake up. Look, we're going on the boat." And I'm like, my head's fucking, piercing because fucking, I just drank a shit ton the other night. I got a
Yeah.
big ass, and I'm like, go, bug your mother. Don't talk to me,
Yeah.
please.
If I go on a boat, someone will die.
Yeah. That was a fun night.
Um, this is a short one, but the same people from my last story, we stole a traffic cone years ago, and um, fucking, they asked me to chug out of it while I had them scrub it down and everything. So they poured the beer down it. Well, it was one person holding it up and two people pouring a beer down it each. They got halfway down their beer, so it was a full beer that went down this funnel before. I was like, no, no, stop. And I drank all of it, went threw up. My first thought was, the first thing I said was, where's my beer? Chugged two more beers, and then fucking, I drank like six playing fucking Need for Speed with Corey before I passed out on the floor. It
Oh, damn.
was a good night. Passed out on
When
Corey's bed one night and fell on the floor and bumped my head. And I woke up the next morning and didn't know what my head hurt. So I didn't know what happened. And because Corey just like carried me to the couch, and um, for like I think it was like 3 days later, I found out that I bumped my head on the floor. I was like, "What the hell, man?"
yeah, for real. Fucking this one time at the garage I was staying in, we were playing Rochambeau, and whoever lost had to do a beer bong out of the tip was a pink penis.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pink sexual beer bong,
Yeah.
and I had lost, and they're like, "Oh, Chester, you gotta drink a beer from the beer bong," and I was like, "All right," and then they poured one, and it was almost gone, and then they poured another, and then poured a third one, so I did three in a row, and then my friend that was there was like, "Well, shit, now I got to do three in a row." So then he did three in a row, and then they were like, "Hey, Chester, why don't you drink a full Four Loco from this?" And I was like, okay. And then I got all prepared, and I got down on my knees because so it's to get a better flow, I guess, if you will, and
I
because it was a
won't. You were
penis,
sucking
and
dick.
it would have. Yeah, it was funny because it was a peanut one. And then they proceeded to open up a sour apple Four Loco and pour it down. Now, I gotta tell you, it didn't taste like anything until the end, and it was just Four Loco fizz. Let me tell you, beer head sucks. Now, try just think about Four Loco head.
Fuck that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think there is any head in Four Loco, but if you pour it down a fucking beer bong, there is.
Um, there's a few times where I've gotten drunk by myself and just threw up everywhere because like I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get as drunk as I can," and then I'll just chug like it's like half a bottle and just regret it immediately, just blah, all in my hand. It's happened like
Yeah, it
twice to me.
sucks.
Easy to make dumb decisions when you're drunk. Remember that.
See, now I can't drink.
That's rough, buddy.
Isn't it? Well, I just wasted all that pretty much.
But I
Jesus.
think this will be it for well, no, we got a
For
couple more minutes we can go on. I'm gonna try to cut it short. So, how much dick you sucking, Derek? I'm
12, I
asking
meant
the
none.
announcer voice. 12. 3.
I mean, 0. What do you mean? I don't suck dick. You suck dick.
This wall is actually an awesome backdrop if I did do that.
Yeah, the photos. Props to my sister. Shout out.
Shut up,
I told
that lady.
I told her that I'd shout it out. All right. Uh. Um. Oh yeah. There's one time that I drank a shit ton playing beer pong, and then I threw up, and the people I was drinking with were like, "Oh, you gotta clean it up." And I was like, "Oh, okay, fuck y'all." Well, I think Johnny needs to take it out. Take us away, Johnny.
Alright, alright. Are you gonna do it or not, Johnny?